All right, we're live. Thanks for joining us today on your Friday. Hope you're having a great week. Today,
Yep.
really excited to have everybody on here. A lot of really good content that we're gonna get into as a way of just like very quick introduction. My name's Noah Adelstein. I run growth over here at Netic, and if you're not familiar with Netic, we're an AI revenue engine for essential service businesses and help with everything from AI voice to autonomous outbound campaigns to in-depth analytics and more. And today really excited to be here with Trevor Parker from AllTech Services, who is heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and now electrical, also, right?
Oh, well,
And
electrical soon, not
almost,
yet.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
almost.
so and yeah, an electrical company in the Virginia area, and Trevor's going to talk a lot about how they grew the YouTube channel from 0 to 1.3 million subscribers in 2 years. Trevor, do you want to just do a quick introduction of yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Trevor Parker, as Noah just said, Director of Marketing for AllTech Services. We are indeed an HVAC and plumbing company right now. We've been in the space since about 2004/2005-ish. We are very AI integrated, or very technology integrated, and we're very customer focused. We are very much seeking to dominate our market with a care first initiative as well as a technology first initiative.
Yeah, and I've been kind of in the home service space overall for about 3 years or so, and working in tech in Silicon Valley and marketing and stuff like that for almost 10 years. And Trevor is one of the most creative marketers that I've seen, and gotten the chance to work with. So really excited to dig into all this content, and there's so much good gold in here about why YouTube matters and how to kind of think about growing it for your business. So, Trevor, I'll give it to you in just one second, and just as kind of like housekeeping for anybody, if you have any questions, as the presentation is going on, like feel free to pop them in the chat on the right, and we'll kind of get to the ones that we can at the end, and maybe throughout the conversation too. So yeah, Trevor, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, so thank you, Noah. So again, I'm Trevor Parker, Director of Marketing for AllTech Services. When I first started the YouTube channel, it was just me, and we got quite far. About I think when I finally got my first intern, we were about 75 to 80,000 subscribers. I was doing everything from the directing, the editing, just content retrieval in general. Um, and it was a lot of work, but it is possible. It's just one person. As we expanded, I got a marketing intern for a little bit during the summer. She was fantastic. Her name's Anna. As she had to move away, we then moved on to a more permanent role with our marketing assistant, Lisa. She does a fantastic job. She's been with us for about 8 months, and she actually has taken on the bulk of our videography now that I've gotten a lot of mentoring in with her. And then we have our third person on the team. Her name is Julia Roscoe. She's our brand ambassador, and you probably see her in a bunch of our YouTube videos. She's our main actor. So we did indeed get to about 1.3 million subscribers in just 2 years. I started with AllTech again around April 2024. We actually did not start pushing the YouTube channel in 2024. We actually started pushing it in early 2025. And I will go into a bit of the basics and essentials of how exactly we got to that 1.3 million. So today's playbook as to that road to 1.3 million for your company is: one, why YouTube; two, the foundation; three, content strategy; four, speed and execution; five, AI and tools; and six, scaling and ROI.
Trevor, do you want to actually just share like the quick story of why you guys started working on YouTube in the first place too? It's kind of a funny one.
Yeah, so we actually started working on YouTube because we're one of the, or actually we're the last family owned and privately owned company in our area. Everybody surrounding us is private equity. For every dollar they put into marketing, I believe their partners put about $2 to $3 backing them. We do not get that same leverage here. So we were really looking for something that we could dominate in the market in. And it's funny, I always considered videography the weakest part of my portfolio. So if there's any of you listening right now that consider it to be the same, I very much encourage you to still get on that road. It's very much still possible for you and your company. I promise you, it's not as hard as you think. But yeah, to get into the why YouTube, I put it into 5 distinct categories for you guys. The biggest one by far is that it compounds over time. These videos, they work 24/7. It's not the same as like a print social media ad. Nobody's going back 2 years to go look at a social media post you put 2 years ago. But people will go and look at a video that you put 2 years ago, and even videos that are years ago are still going to be compounding that SEO boost for you, compounding viewership for you, and compounding the legitimacy in your company from how many views and likes your videos gain and really represent your company. They secondly, it builds the trust before the call. In this day and age, everybody is using their phone, everybody is connected to the internet, everybody's looking at Google reviews, looking at what videos you have on your website, what videos you have on your YouTube. YouTube is as you'll see in the third section, the number 2 search engine right now compared to Google search right now. I know there's a lot of hype over AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, they're all using this to collate what to give you. So when you have a high viewership YouTube, you have a high, videos that have high likes, high just views in general, ChatGPT is going to look at that, say, hey, there's a lot of legitimacy behind this company. A lot of people are viewing that, and it's going to push you when you're asking ChatGPT or Gemini, hey, what is the best HVAC company in the area? Who can really provide some legitimacy? Who can I trust? Gemini. And the fourth one is, a lot of people don't think about this, but it's constantly recruiting for you. I know a bunch of companies out there have recruiters that are doing this full time. It's a very hard job. It's a very brutal job. Why not add in another employee that you don't have to pay, that you don't have to maintain? It's continually providing that face for you, for top talent to look at your videos, see exactly what your company is about, see exactly what your company culture truly is inside and outside. And it's just constantly letting people know, hey, our culture is up here and you can see it. There's a lot of companies that have culture that is outstanding, but they have no way of showcasing that. So why not push it out and let it work for you? And then fifth, it's an owned asset. You own it. You don't have to worry about an algorithm rent like PPC. You don't have to worry about ad spend for the majority of your organic push on YouTube. One video can generate leads for you for years. Now, looking at YouTube versus some of the alternatives, I just wanted to take a look at this. YouTube videos rank in Google forever. Videos on TikTok and so, they're typically dead after the first month. A lot of people are not looking at past TikTok videos, even Instagram. And we can look at PPC ads. You can actually link your YouTube to your PPC ads, and you typically get more of a CTR, which is your click-through rate, and a better conversion, because people typically are more interested in seeing video content, clicking on video content, than they are reading another print ad. There's a million of those, but there's not too many companies, especially in our space, that are doing a lot of video ads. And so you have the chance to really monopolize your market with your language of video ads while not competing with too many people around you. Again, you own the asset. You don't have to worry about the algorithm taking it away. It's an owned equity across Google, Gemini, and AI search. There's a lot of people talking about SEO, AIO, which one do I focus on? Guess what? These videos, they do both for you. You don't have to worry about which one to focus on. And that, again, that content compounds for you no matter how long. Even if you go up to 10 years ago, that video is still providing value to your company, whereas a social media post is probably not providing that same level of value to your company at all. I want to show you guys the growth curve of where I started, which is around here in April 2024, where we started pushing the YouTube and actually producing videos in early 2025. It only took about a year and a half for us to go from near 2 subscribers when I first started to 1,318,392 subscribers. And that's not just a success story that is sold to AllTech Services. I want to be honest with you guys. We were very motivated, not just me as the marketing department head, but also my CEO and my chief of operations. When we went to the Nexstar Super meeting and we listened to a guy named Gary V. He told us, hey, I know there's one company here that's going to listen to me and produce content every single day. And so we were like, hey, we can do that. I'm very confident that I can get out at least one video a day. And so we did. And taking that advice, we saw the success that he said. So I know there's one company out there that is going to look at this and say, hey, we can do the exact same thing. And I would love, a year, 2 years from now, for you guys to reach out to me and say, hey, we followed that same success that you followed, or same advice that you followed, and we're seeing that similar level of success. I know it's possible. I know it's not just us. Showing you guys again our year 0, we are at 2 subscribers. Year 1, we pushed past 100,000 subscribers, and by year 2, we were at 1.3 million subscribers and only gaining so far. These videos, they really do snowball the more that you have. I very much, it's going to be a very slow start, especially that first year. But I guarantee you, if you keep persistent at it, if you keep persevering at it, you will see this scaling success that only grows more and more day by day. The next thing we're going to get into is the foundation. No, I just wanted to see if you had any questions regarding the first part.
I mean, maybe just one question on it. Like, as a business, maybe thinking about starting their YouTube channel. I know, there's sort of like it's very compounding growth and it's long-term asset and all the things that you've been talking about. But like, if somebody's trying to figure out how to really like think about the return on the investment, in terms of like hours and money, like how would you suggest that they think about that on YouTube?
I honestly think that you should think of YouTube as a free platform first. You should not get into anything paid or thinking about how much we're going to be spending on this platform until you already have a medium level of success on YouTube. Especially if you're below, I would say, that 1,000 subscribers is where people start looking at some level of legitimacy in your company. And if you're pushing, these promos and videos when you're at 20 subscribers and spending a bunch of money, people are going to click on those, look at your channel, see you only have 20 subscribers, and it's actually going to be a negative impact for you. But it's very easy to good. I think the first investment actually that you should look at is how much is it to buy a camera, which it should be about probably $250 to $500 for a decent one. Once you have that camera, then everything else from that point is pretty much free, excluding some editing platforms that I'll get into later. You should be using that camera for every single event at your company, even if you're not going to immediately, release that content right now. I guarantee you'll find a use for that B-roll content sometime later when you're making other videos. I want the other companies to focus on the free part of it first, because you will get so much success focusing on that and then pushing the paid part than you will trying to push both at the same time or trying to rush into the paid segment of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it seems like one of these things that's like you guys have measurable leads that are coming from YouTube, but it's also just a halo across the entire company.
Yeah, it's very much a dual effect, and it provides the legitimacy. It provides, that trust in the customer that they can actually see the skill that we're working. And then something I'll get into later is it also has a bit of an internal effect in the culture of your company and how much your company or your technicians value the prestige of what they're able to show the customers, and just family and friends as well, not just customers.
Sweet. Yeah, let's keep rolling.
All right, so getting into the foundation of our YouTube channel. I talked to a lot of different companies about, hey, how are you guys so successful with your YouTube channel? And I always ask their marketing team, what are you guys doing with the back end of your YouTube? Because what I found is so many people get stuck tunnel visioning on the very obvious things. It's very obvious that you need an attractive title that is going to hook someone to click. What is that about? It's very obvious that you need a good description with clear CTAs to lead the customer to actually schedule. And it's very obvious that you need an attention-grabbing thumbnail that makes someone want to click. But what a lot of people and a lot of companies end up skipping are the more core important back-end features. Things like the audience, strictly made for kids or not made for kids setting. Please, if you are a company out there, do not play with putting some videos on made for kids and some videos not made for kids. Do a strict not made for kids setting. YouTube has gotten very, very strict about this setting, and you do not want to play around with it. You will get a very negative penalty for trying to get additional views, trying to put things made for kids. It's just not worth playing around with. So I always like to put that first. YouTube has gotten very serious about putting when you're or declaring AI usage. If you have any type of altered or synthetic content in your videos, let's say that you AI generated a video on using Sora, which is now unfortunately not in use anymore, but there are other platforms that can make your AI videos. You need to make sure that you're telling YouTube it's AI, or if you're generating AI music, or I mean, if you're generating like captions, you don't have to click this setting. But YouTube is checking your channel to make sure that if you're using AI, that you're declaring it, and they will start negatively affecting your videos viewership if you do not, actually declare this. And this is a setting you can skip. Do not skip the setting. Tell YouTube, no, there is no AI in this, or if there is AI in it, tell YouTube, yes, there is AI in it. It's a compounding feature in that YouTube has a trust factor. If you continually lie to it or skip these trust factors, it's not going to push you as much in its algorithm. Featured places and automatic chapters. These are things that there's just no reason not to have it on. When you have a featured place on, that means that YouTube is taking what you have in your description and in your title of reading it. And let's say that we're saying like AllTech helps, then it'll take that featured place AllTech and it'll put it in the description as a link to our Google My Business profile. It's a major SEO boost. It's another call to action. There's no reason to not have it on. It's just a good boost. But I see a lot of companies skip it, and you really should be. It's a simple click. Just turn it on. Language and caption certification. This isn't as core as some of the other ones on here, but it is quite important depending on your geographical area that you put, the English language in. And so I would assume most companies are in here. Are in here. But if you do have a multilingual audience, let's say that you have a big Spanish user base, YouTube will automatically change the language in your channel to Spanish. And all you have to do is add that in as an additional language. And so that if you have any Spanish viewers, they can come there, automatically see it in their first language. And you can also set the caption certification to that additional language as well. And it will automatically, without any work on your end, translate those captions into Spanish, which just opens up another level of audience to you that you might not have been, reaching before because you were always in English. So it's very important to look at what your audience is and make sure you're touching these settings, turning them on. Recording date and location metadata is probably the most important setting on here. And I unfortunately do see it get skipped a lot. Recording date, it lets YouTube know exactly when this video was recorded, and YouTube will take the metadata from that video and see if you're lying to it or not. So you could go in there and be like, hey, this video was made yesterday, and the video was actually made like 3 months ago. YouTube will go into the metadata and see if that matches up, and that will affect your trust factor. Just, it doesn't matter if the video is that old, as long as you're telling YouTube, you're going to ride off of that algorithm boost, and you're going to get the views from it. But if you lie, you're going to see negative views. You're going to be a little confused, probably going to get burnt out. Location metadata is the most important SEO factor for your YouTube, especially for organic pushes and organic leads. Location metadata tells YouTube, hey, this video was made in Loudoun County. Now, what YouTube is going to do is it's going to put Loudoun County in that little blurb in there, and it's going to push that video to everybody in Loudoun County. If you skip this, YouTube's not going to know really where to serve it up at, and you're going to miss out on that huge organic push. If you're in Loudoun County, like we are, whatever your respective county is, this is where you want to dominate your videos at. So you should be putting that in. And then lastly, the last category here is licensing category. So just proper routing for telling customers, having YouTube sort these videos exactly where you want it, so that when customers are searching up these categories or searching up these specific videos, they're actually able to get to where they go. Unfortunately, YouTube does not have the best categories for the HVAC and plumbing industry. I highly recommend that you use the science category for the majority of your videos.
And Trevor, where did you learn all these things? Just like trial and error?
A lot of trial and error. And I do have some connections to Google. So I've talked a lot with the YouTube team. But a lot of it is trial and error, doing my own research. Again, before I started with AllTech Services, I always consider videography the weakest part of my portfolio. And I was just not, I just was not that into video. I didn't think that I was going to have that much success with it. I could have been more wrong. So again, I know one of you guys watching feels that same way. I want you to try the same thing. Something I want to get into with you guys is how important it is to chain your videos together. Now, if you don't have an expansive video library, you don't need to worry about this yet. But there's a lot of companies out there that I talk to that do already have expansive video libraries, and they're not connecting their videos to each other. So remember earlier when I was talking a little bit about the snowball effect. This snowball effect is exactly comes from chaining this. So at the end of every video, you have an option while you're editing your video in the YouTube upload settings to set an end screen or a card that will show up on the top. And so people can click that card, or they can click the little end screen to click on the next video. And then suddenly they've gone from watching one video that they were initially interested on your channel for, to watching a second video, to watching a third video, to watching a fourth video. Now that person is actively interested in watching the rest of your channel, bumping up the rest of your videos. And you'll see when you first start a YouTube channel and you have like 1 to 2 videos, you'll be a little disappointed that you aren't getting the views that you might be looking for. But once you start adding 10 videos, 20 videos, 30 videos, that 30th video will still continue to give a bump to that first video you pushed up at the beginning of the year, or maybe it was even last year. So it's so important to chain your videos together. And it's even better if you can make a complete journey with your videos. So kind of like this one, with our out with the old, in with the new video. So it's not quite shown here, but this video, we literally, with the Netiq team, went to the roof of our building, threw off a whole water heater and HVAC system off of the roof of our building, and it slammed down on the building. That video got 300,000 views. People love that video. I mean, it's very entertaining. They click on that video though. We chained it to our all students training video because we're actively, we were recruiting for our upcoming academy class. It's closed now. Now we've got the people, but we're turning people to that so that people see, oh, this is how they train out AllTech. This is what they're learning. We chain that video to why your furnace keeps turning off for people who may not have that interest in the training or joining the HVAC field, but do have an interest in what's going on with my home heating, what's going on with my home cooling. Then we chain that video into a trust and legitimacy video. Jobs with Tito and Giselle steam humidifier installation. We show our customers a full installation from start to finish and let them, judge us on how we did. We're not afraid to show our skill set. We believe in what we do. We believe in our work. And I believe in our technicians. Boy, you have no idea. They are truly all-stars at what they do. Moving on a little bit, playlists as funnels. Playlists are very important. I talk a little bit how you really want to set up your channel for success. Setting up your playlist so that your customers are truly funneling and turning that single view, as I talked about in the last slide, into binge watching sessions for watching the rest of your videos is just as key as linking your videos together. So like that top of funnel video, the how-to playlist, leading into the middle of the funnel. Someone joins in trying to see what's going on with their house. How do I fix it myself? Hey, let me look at AllTech helps. How do I fix my thermometer video? Then they're interested in, hey, what's this company that I might have come out really about? They start looking at the behind the scenes playlist we have. Okay, AllTech in 60 seconds, that really shows our culture. And then they might be a little more interested to really lock them into scheduling a job. What other jobs have they done with other customers? They can see our care and action playlist. They can look at our AllTech events playlist where we're actively out in the community helping and doing things, exposing our brand. The next thing I'll go into is the content strategy. Do you have any questions for the previous section, Noah? Oh, you're actually muted for me. I can't actually hear you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I know. Let's keep rolling. I'm excited for this section.
All right. So going into the content strategy section, creating content that people actually want to watch. Real topics that drive views is, of course, what everybody is looking for. It's very important that you have a content engine that you're constantly using to push people. So for AllTech's real video topics, we have our AllTech's Help series, which I talked about a little bit before. That is an actively how you can do things as a customer and fix your home by yourself. So, why your furnace keeps turning off, how to fix a running toilet, how to unclog a toilet. We include active CTAs in this, where if the customer is unable to fix it by themselves, hey, go ahead and call AllTech. We'll get out there, we'll fix it for you, but we want to give you this chance. We want to give you the knowledge so that you can try to fix it yourself first. And that only helps build that the legitimacy and trust for the customer. Hey, they're not just trying to nickel and dime me. They're telling me how to fix it myself for free. And then if I can't manage it, I'll just call AllTech out. And we lead that in with, on the job with AllTech. That's our biggest short series by far. It's literally taken from our CRM. I know there are a bunch of you that use ServiceTitan. If your technicians are taking videos of what they're doing with the client's work, guess what? You already have a gold mine, an absolute gold mine of videos to put on your YouTube, and it really exposes how great your technicians are, what a beautiful job they do for these customers. And that's exactly what are on the job with AllTech. You can check out our YouTube shorts. It's a bunch of our technicians just doing different things with different jobs. And we have that for both HVAC and plumbing. And then the third one is AllTech in less than 60 seconds, just kind of like the quick tips, behind the scenes moments. One of my favorite video topics that we really like to use here is actually called First Strike Plumbing. That was built off of the idea of first strike fencing. If any of you are familiar with that, where you take two fencing sticks, and the first one to hit the other first is the one that wins. So we just replace that with plungers. The first one to get hit with the plunger loses, and we make sure that there's no face hitting. Nobody wants to get hit in the face with a plunger, of course. But this is content that people actually want to watch, and it chains off of each other, and it only builds that brand exposure for you. So the external.
Trevor, one quick question off of what Casey said in the chat. So he asked your techs film on the field, and so I think what you're saying is that all the time they're filming on the field.
All the time, yes. We've actually tried various few methods. We have some techs that like to use their iPhones. We have some techs that we're potentially about to experiment with getting them some of the Meta glasses. I use the Meta glasses myself. I love them, and I think it'd be a great idea, especially when techs don't have the maneuverability to really be using their phone or something, or have the room to set it up to have something like those glasses. But there's a bunch of different ways to have your techs. I would have them start with their phones first. It does not need to be a perfect shot, and we'll get into why perfection is a little bit of the enemy later.
Yep. Okay. And so are you guys incentivizing the techs to film in the field, or just asking them to and they're doing it?
It's funny. We'll actually get into that in the next slide a bit too, but this whole thing is a bit of a self-incentivizer for the techs. The techs see how many views their videos are getting. They're in a little bit of a mini competition between themselves. When we get the Silver Play Award, we get the Gold Play Award. We like to see who provided the most value in terms of earning those views, turning those likes, and give them a Play Award as well. We don't need to incentivize them with hey, there's $50 for the best video of the week. They're already doing that amongst themselves, saying, I bet I can get more views than you. I bet I can get more likes than you. Who can get more views by end of this month without a need for financial incentives.
Okay, great.
And a lot of that comes from just how much pride they've built and being a part of this YouTube channel journey, and how much they contribute to it themselves. But just to get into the external multiplier, because this is the most obvious factor people think of when thinking of the YouTube, and it's very important. The credibility factor, customers trusting you before they call, the proof of that expertise on camera, the brand exposure, reaching even beyond your service area. So when you're ready to expand, people already know your company. They've seen you on video. They know your YouTube. Your videos that are building SEO for you constantly from day one, and that day one might be 5 years ago. It's 24/7 marketing that never sleeps. It's always a boost. Lead generation, of course, viewers become callers. It's not just warm leads. It's not just views. It's churning and compounding leads for you over time. That's only going to get better. Your channel is your most powerful customer facing asset, just like your website is also your most powerful customer facing asset. They kind of share a role in that. Now, let's get into what people don't think about, but is almost as important, or it could potentially even be more important. the hidden multiplier, internal brand factor. Your channel is your most important internal culture tool. And we've really learned that here at AllTech Services. The technician pride, the pride that our technicians feel in the views that they get, having their views exposed, having their skills shown, and really being able to say, I'm proud of that. I love that the customers are seeing what I'm doing. The next video, I'm going to even do better. I'm going to start, we have some technicians that weren't narrating when they first started doing some of these videos. They weren't too confident in it. Now they're rock stars at it. They're narrating just like David Attenborough. They aren't just sharing this with their customers. They're sharing it with their family. Their family is able to go in and see, wow, this is what my dad is doing. Wow, my dad is awesome at his job. And they're building their own ownership in our channel. A lot of people tend to think of these YouTube channels as just the marketing team's thing, just the marketing team's ownership or the marketing team's success. No, our YouTube channel is a company-wide success. It's not just me. We do a lot of the editing, but that's just one part of the puzzle. They are the ones who get us a lot of the bulk of the content, and they build ownership in how much they contribute to that. As I was saying before, the friendly competition they build between themselves that gives them a natural motivation to film. You'll find yourselves not needing to financially incentivize the technicians to give you content. They're incentivized just from how successful the channel is. Just they want to be a part of it. And then the visual portfolio, we got into this a little bit at the beginning, but it's truly a powerful recruiting tool. What do you guys think happens when a potential applicant is going and looking at your company, being like, well, maybe I apply to this company? They're going to go Google you and their YouTube. If it's powerful like ours, it's going to show up in those first top 5. And they're going to go to that and they're going to start clicking on videos. What is this company truly about? What is their culture really like? And we're proud of what we can show potential applicants. Hey, we've got a ton of culture. We celebrate baby showers. We celebrate birthdays for people. We celebrate anniversaries. I mean, we are truly a care first company here at AllTech, and we want to expose that to our family, to coworkers, to clients, and we see how much of a powerful effect it has on our technicians as that internal brand power. So I really hope if you got any of you companies that are thinking about opening up a YouTube channel, that you think not just about the external, but also the internal feature. Next, I'll get a little bit into the speed and execution factors of YouTube. Did you have any questions for me, Noah?
No, we're good.
All right, moving on. All right, so like I said before, perfection is the enemy. I'll go through this quickly. Published always beats perfect. I see so many companies that I talk to about their YouTubes get stuck on, we need to edit this video. We've been editing this video for weeks, months. It's why. And then you're going to put out that video and it's going to get 500 views and you're going to get burnt out because you spent so much time on it and you were expecting so much more success. I highly encourage that you guys put a limit of 24 hours on any video you do. And if you don't meet that cutoff, just go ahead and put the video out. People aren't looking for perfect on YouTube. They're looking for real, they're looking for raw, and they're looking for mistakes because they want to know you're just like us and everybody makes mistakes. I promise you, getting 30 good enough videos that get 500 views each is going to be more successful for your channel than getting one perfect video out in just that 1 month that might just get that 500 views. And I'm not saying that polish is not good. I'm saying that you need to watch where polish becomes the enemy. It's very easy in the video editing world. So give some stats behind that. Let's say that you're at a cadence of 1 polished video a week. You're only going to get 52 videos out a year, and that's not going to help your company at all, especially if you're looking to copy the same success we did. We shoot for 3 shorts a day and 1 long form video every other day, potentially trying to average out to 4 pieces a day. That gives us 1,460 videos a year. We probably get out about half of that. To be honest with you guys, we're at about 1,200 videos right now, and that's over the course of 2 years. So that's about 600 videos a year, but that's still substantially more than just 52 videos a year. And it's going to lead you to that explosive growth, especially where I was telling you before about that snowball effect, where every video you produce and link to another video will increase all the video view count across the board. So again, 3 shorts plus 1 video every single day is what your target should be. You could push that regular video a day to maybe every other day, but it's important to find a balance between them both. And not just, I mean, you can focus on just one. Maybe you just want to focus on shorts. Maybe you just want to focus on the regular videos, but it's a lot easier to avoid the burnout if you give yourself more opportunities for variety. Right now, shorts are exploding. I have it in here that you should put a heavy emphasis on shorts. It's also just substantially easier than having to edit a full video. I'll give you guys the published schedule that we use is 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. You don't have to follow that. These have always worked very well for us. It's very much going to depend on your geography and the culture of your area. It's not going to be a perfect fit for your area. We also post 7 days a week. I'm not kidding when I was telling you we post every single day, including weekends. We schedule forward. We're not working weekends, but we make sure we get content flowing on those days. Next, I just wanted to go into some of the AI and tools that we do use here at AllTech. I mentioned in the beginning, we're a very technology first company, and we're a very AI integrated company. We use a lot of these tools to improve our speed and cadence of our production. AI, I just want to tell you guys, AI is for us is accelerating speed. It's getting these videos out faster, not better. Using AI, we're eliminating these bottlenecks, we're improving our cadence, and we're saving hours. I feel like a lot of people get too focused on using the AI to over edit their videos, though, to over polish the videos. That's not what it's there for. That's not what you should be using it for. AI, use it for speed, because that's the biggest thing right now. That's what companies, there's a lot of companies that can spend forever on polishing a video, but there's not a lot of companies that can get a video out every other day or more. Our video toolkit for what we use to really power our production line. Manus AI, we love to use for our scripting and storyboarding. CapCut, we love to use for our automated generated captions. I know for a lot of you guys who've already experienced with videography, you've probably tinkered with doing captions yourself and know what a long, tedious process it is. Use AI to generate those captions. It will only take you 30 seconds versus what it might have taken you a full hour before to do. We use Suno AI to generate background music and avoid copyright. We use Manus again for thumbnail creation for some more advanced stuff. We really want to get those clicks on them. And we use 11 Labs a lot for our voiceover and audio. Now, what does it really look like from just an idea to publish? I know a lot of you are really wondering that. So our first step for ideation is we start talking to Manus, or I'm sure a lot of you guys use ChatGPT as well, to say, hey, what are people doing in our industry right now for videos? That's the first step. Then you start looking more localized. What are maybe some of our competitors doing? What are they not doing? And then a good idea is to get with your technicians or whoever your main actor will be and really start to build this script out, or even better if you can build multiple scripts out. So when I built the AllTech Helps series out, I'm not an HVAC or plumbing person myself. I'm not 100% sure what they exactly are doing with those machines and systems, but I can go to AI and get a pretty good draft and general start. And then I can go to my training manager, Jason Andes, and say, hey, I want to build on this AllTech Help series where we're telling our customers how they can fix these things themselves. And then if they, it's too hard for them, they just can't do it, then we're there to help them out. And then he reads that script, he polishes up a bit according to the exact HVAC knowledge. We get on the filming process with, whether it's a smartphone, we have a Nikon 6 here for our more advanced filming. And then after you get the script done, you film it. It's probably going to take you about 10 minutes. It might take you a couple of revisions and drafts, but I promise you it only get easier, especially if you're reusing that actor. They're going to get better and better at it. And we're going to throw it into CapCut for some editing or whatever editing software you use. Maybe add some Suno AI for some background music if needed. Maybe 11 Labs if we need a better voiceover than what was used with the actor. We're going to throw that into publishing. We're going to upload it to YouTube. We're going to make sure our thumbnail is perfect. We're going to make sure our description has those CTAs we need and it's perfectly descriptive. We're going to schedule it at our fixed times because we know those fixed times get us the most views and engagement. And then we're going to promote this step. This is a step a lot of people tend to forget as well. It's not just about publishing it on YouTube. You need to take that YouTube video you made and publish it on your social media, share it. If you're on publishing it to Facebook, your story doesn't just end there. You need to share it to the different Facebook groups in your area. There's a lot of opportunity a lot of people miss by either not sharing these videos outside their YouTube or not going the full journey on their social media to get it as much leverage and exposure as they possibly can. And so for our final section, we'll go into a little bit about scaling and ROI, because I know that's a big thing. I know a lot of you are thinking, okay, let's put in the work for this, but what are we really getting in return from YouTube? So when we think about the traditional metrics of cost per lead for YouTube versus PPC, I'm not going to get into our paid stuff here, but I will share some of our data for organic stuff. We typically get and see about 20 to 40 leads a month from our YouTube channel from just organic alone at a 50% conversion rate, typically leading to about 15 to 20 booked calls a month. Now, that does not include our paid stats, which is also quite substantial. We gain quite a lot from our YouTube. And as I said, the more videos we put, the more of a snowball effect we gain. That 20 to 40, I'm very much expecting it to be 50 to 70 by the end of 2026. We are constantly adapting, even though we are currently number one in the world for our industry YouTube channel. There's still so much for us to learn and adapt to. And it's very important, especially if you're going to separate your organic versus your paid measurement in YouTube for your ROI, that you're putting your organic phone number in all of your descriptions so that you can gain a measurement of people just clicking on that video, looking at description, saying, hey, I trust these guys. This is a great video. Let me go ahead and schedule something, versus someone that maybe you have this link to your PPC and it's pushing that as a video. That should have a distinctly different tracking number so you know exactly what you're getting from pushing these through paid and exactly what you're getting from organic. And I want you to focus on building your organic first before you worry about your paid, because it's only going to compound the success you see in your paid from building on organic first. Our PPC agencies that we've worked with and our YouTube and building out some of these promotion stuff, they tell us they have never seen the same level of success we're seeing from, or they're seeing from the video ads that they run from our channel than they have with any other client they've run. And we both agree that's because of the legitimacy that our audience sees when they see our huge subscriber base. It's going to provide you that ROI. It's going to take a little bit of a time, but it does exist. Now, a common question I get for people is, how do I find someone that could run this YouTube for me? Maybe you just don't have enough time. Maybe, you just don't have enough bandwidth in your day to really get something like this to even start with a video or a camera. Look for someone that has a real hunger for it. I think a lot of people get hung up on someone already having the skills for this to, just go on the pedal and go. But I promise you, teaching these video skills is actually quite easy. Finding someone who owns the creative, who's really dived down on it and is like, okay, this video did this, but I was really looking for it to do this level of success. So let me figure out, maybe I need to try like a different time of the day. Maybe my audience is not being engaged at 11 a.m. like they would at noon at the peak of lunchtime. Do they have this in their spare time? Do they have their own second channel? Those are the things that I would highly recommend that you look for if you're looking for someone to hire to run this channel, or someone that you maybe want to assign in your team already. Look for the guy that has the hunger to run for it, not the guy that already has the skills to do it. He might not, he's going to burn out fast if he doesn't have the hunger for it. And again, I don't think that teaching this stuff is that hard. If you are having a hard time, please feel free to reach out to me. I don't mind spending some of my time to teach you exactly, some of the things that we did. So for this last segment, I think what I'll do is I'll just try to do a quick live edit.
Yeah, Trevor, I think because we're coming up on time, what we should do is maybe even like have you do like if you want, like your own little walkthrough and put it up on your guys' YouTube or.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
And and then we can send it out to everybody afterwards. I want to just like leave a couple minutes for some
Oh, no
questions.
problem. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So some key takeaways I just want you guys to go ahead and take from this. And I'll make sure to send this whole slide deck so that you guys can go through it yourself as well. But setting up your backend settings properly is the foundation of your YouTube channel. I can't believe how many great YouTube channels I'll go and look at that aren't seeing any success. And then I'll go into their backend settings for their videos and start reviewing. And it's like they just skipped it entirely. And I'm like, well, you guys did the work, but you didn't do this part of the work. And that's why you're not seeing the success that you're looking for. Don't skip all of the options. YouTube is very much looking for you to click every single option it's telling you so that it specifically knows how to push your video. Publish daily. That's just as important, if not more important, than your backend settings. Make sure you are consistent. Even if you cannot get to 3 shorts a day, try to aim for just 1 short a day, or even just 1 long form video a day. It does not have to be like a 30-minute video or a 15-minute video. A lot of our shorts, to be honest with you, are just 10 seconds long. It's just then the technician showing something, saying, hey, we're doing this with that. And a lot of people are okay with viewing that. They love seeing our technicians working with their hands. Don't over polish, or, remember, perfection is the enemy. Thirdly, chain every video to the next. You will see a snowball effect from this that cannot be underestimated. Fourth, integrate AI into your workflow. The speed that you get from integrating AI into your workflow is unmatched. I know there's a lot of people that might not be that contingent on AI right now, but I promise you, you'll only see the benefits if you don't use it to polish and use it to speed up your production. Then fifth, again, perfection kills growth. Just hit the publish button. Even if it's not perfect, getting 30 videos again that have 500 videos is only going to be better for you than 1 video that you consider perfect that also just got 500 views. So again, thank you guys for hearing me out and listening to my seminar and how we got our YouTube channel to 1.3 million subscribers. I do want to give a shout out to the monthly marketing roundtable that I host once a month for a lot of the members of the Nextdoor network. We share our marketing successes and failures. We share a lot of raw data, active playbooks. We're actually having some discussions on a lot of the AI projects that we've been building with each other. So please, I'd love to extend and expand our marketing roundtable even more. There's a lot of cool things in there, and we have a lot of great resources for members. Just go or feel free to shoot me an email at trevor.parker@alltechservicesinc.com to request an invite. And if you want to connect, there's my email as well. Just feel free to shoot me any questions you may have.
Awesome. Thanks, Trevor, for going through all this. This was really good. If you're still here and can go through a couple more kind of final questions as we wrap up, just take a quick look at the Q&A tab on your screen and just vote up anything that you want to get answered here. I'm just looking through everything. Maybe Trevor, let's just do 2 final questions. We have one. Justin asked, what percentage of videos that you publish are actually shot by the technicians? Do you have like a kind of duration?
I would actually probably say it's going to be somewhere between 80 to 85% of our videos. So if you go into our YouTube channel and you look at our short section, almost every short that we put up on our YouTube, which I think is about 600 to 700 videos right now, is recorded by our technicians. The majority of our long form videos, those are what are recorded by our marketing team here. So yeah, a good 80 to 85% is recorded by our technicians. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, by the way, but if you're having your service site or your technicians upload the content to your CRM, let's say Service Titan, and then using that content for your shorts, it's very important, critical that you're reviewing that content to make sure it's fully focused on like the property and the job site, and that doesn't have like the client's voice in it, or a video shot of the client, or maybe they're panning around the house. That becomes an instant unusable for us. We're not interested in sharing that. We want it to just be fully focused, and that avoids a lot of drama as well.
Nice. And then there are a couple questions just around like, how do you actually get your techs to sort of like be good on camera, and think about like which technicians to go with, you know, or are you going with the ones that like you think are naturally charismatic? Are you like letting everybody kind of like have an at bat, you know, with that? Or are you giving them their own scripting?
So we review the way that we select our shorts, at least, is we review our service site and jobs for the previous day, every day of the week. And so we go in there and we find the best content from those. We don't use every single piece of content, but I will tell you, it also started off kind of slow. Our HVAC team is now all very dialed in. I told you they had the competition with each other. When they first started, we probably only had about 1 to 2 HVAC techs that were interested in trying out the videos. Once those technicians' videos got a lot of views and likes and they started bragging to the other technicians were like, oh, I want to do this too. We had some people comment on our YouTube channel saying like, hey, you know, I love what you're seeing, but or I love what I'm seeing, but your technicians don't always or narrate what they're doing. I told that to our HVAC team. They took that personal and they really wanted to show the customer they know what they're doing. So now a lot of them narrate. But you have to look at it as something that you need to show the success of to your technicians before they're going to truly buy in. So again, it's going to build slow, but if you are persistent with it, if you're telling these technicians like, hey, your video got 6,000 views, it got 10,000 views just for that 10-second snip, or hey, you know, we put up a video a couple months ago where our technician did a full 50-minute installation of a water heater and it got 300,000 views. And he's been bragging about that ever since. It really pushes the other technicians to get to that same level as well. And then they start taking pride in it as well. It's great.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it seems like you guys are basically picking, you know, like you guys are just picking every day what the best content is.
Yeah, that's exactly how we're doing it.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, for everyone here, we will send out the deck and the recording afterwards. And thank you so much for joining us. And Trevor, thanks so much for sharing all of this knowledge and putting so much detail into the deck. This is
no problem. And I did say I saw your question, Casey. I just wanted to answer you where you said, do your techs film in the film, or do your techs film in the field, or do you go out with them to the customers? We kind of do both. I would say it's about 80-20 as well. 80% of the time, our technicians will be filming out in the field. 20% of the time, I will send out my assistant or brand ambassador to go out with them and kind of get a good shot of it over a fancy camera.
Sweet. Well, thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your Friday and good weekend.
Thanks, guys.